What is up, guys? We are live for Far Side of the Pod. My name is Jordan. Go ahead, Ridge. I know I missed the warning, but I'm getting there.
You good? What's up, guys?
And like we normally say, we normally do the warning at the beginning of the video, but hey, I'm gonna just let y'all know we're very biased around here. We're just warning y'all that we can say some shit that pisses people off. We can say some decisions that might piss everybody off, but we don't care because this is our channel and this is what we do. So Ridge, let's get into it, man.
Yeah, let's get into this shit.
So first thing we're gonna talking about today, it looks like we had a couple of our fellow Far Side of the Potters at SmackDown this week in Knoxville. Ridge, you go ahead and tell your story, man.
Well, man, I tell you what, it was a fun time being at Friday Night SmackDown in Knoxville. Just the amount of people that were there, I'm pretty sure that was a sold out crowd. And for a sold out crowd in that stadium, I'm pretty sure that's close to 22,000 because I think it's 20. I want to say it's about 21.
Yeah, it's something like that.
21 for just the stadium seats as is, but then whenever you consider everyone that's
Hold
in
on,
the
man.
floor too.
I have to apologize, guys. If you hear any beeping, I don't. It's something with my computer. I don't know what's going on. It's deciding to have a bitch fit right now, so just ignore it, please. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Rich. Sorry.
No, you're good. So it was a fun time overall. The crowd stayed pretty well hot. I mean, they did fall a couple of times, but the main time that they really fell off and fell flat was during Zelina Vega's match against I think you said it was Alba Fire. Um,
Yeah, I think it's Alpha
she
Fire.
Yeah, that match just did not have anyone. Like, even the dark matches had a lot more energy behind them. So that's saying a lot. But it was awesome getting to see a bunch of different wrestlers, especially like Andrade, because whenever, if I'm not mistaken, the last time we went, and that was back years ago,
Yeah.
he was released, so I didn't get to see him. So it was cool getting to see him
Hell, the last
back in the ring.
hell, the last time that we went, it was like Dean Ambrose was still in WWE.
Mm-hmm. And it was funny too because last time we went, John Cena was there, and this time John Cena was there too.
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool. And it was cool getting to see, just getting to be a part of the White Six
Yeah.
because
I'm super
if you're a
jealous,
part
man.
of the crowd, you hold up your flashlights on your phones, or I guess people don't really get to do lighters anymore, and people don't just carry random flashlights, obviously, except for the bodyguards and whatnot. But anyway, so just being able to be one of the fireflies for the White Six was pretty fucking awesome, and it really does. It just about brings emotion to you, and uh, getting to sing out the little song that the crowd out in Europe has created, or on the other side of the sea. I don't know who created it, but the Cody Rhodes.
Oh yeah, the Cody Rope.
Getting to sing that with everybody, it was really fun. It was really cool. It was odd too because like you could, while you're there, you can tell that you go commercial break, but at the same time they keep the audience,
Yeah, they do. They do like little like
in the zone.
They do like fan cameras and stuff like that.
Right, yeah. So it was really cool getting to see all that, and it was also, uh, fortunately and unfortunately at the same time, it was nice getting to see R-Truth wrestle his last match.
Yeah.
Um, so for those that don't know, R-Truth has been released from the WWE. I don't know who that would have been under.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was Triple H's call or not, because this man has been with the company for a really long time. I mean,
And he's been
there
consistent.
was,
That's my whole thing. Is like no matter what they have him do, Because he's just been the funny guy for like at least almost the last 5 to 7 years, and it's like he's been consistently good, man. And it's like even when that dumbass 24/7 title was around, he was the one keeping it relevant.
I mean, I really, there was so many other people that could have been released instead of him.
Yeah.
I hate to say it too. One of the people I thought of that I would rather them let go, and I'm surprised they haven't yet, is Ludwig Kaiser, because he's just been on the shelf for so fucking long.
Yeah, I mean, he ain't done shit.
I mean, I hate to say it too, because God forbid they can't push him at all, and they give him only like one match every what seems like 20 years. Karrion Kross, I love him, but I want to see him doing more.
The thing is like Karrion Kross has the highest selling merch right now. He's one of the most over superstars with the fans, and you're still not pushing him. Like, I don't get it.
Like, I mean, this either put him back on NXT. Same with Finn Balor too, right? Like, move him to NXT or move him to TNA for a little while. I mean,
the Finn, they just need to give Finn something else. Like, we thought y'all was going to take him out of Judgment Day after Mania. So why are we not? Why is he still in Judgment Day? Like,
I think that there might still be a storyline that they're trying to do right now with what is it, Roxanne?
Yeah.
They might still be trying to do a storyline right there. It's a tiring storyline, but hey, it gives Finn something to do. Just get him away from the Judgment Day or something. I don't know what to tell y'all, but it's just a bit rough, It was funny too. Well, kind of funny in a sense. Whenever I heard the news today that R-Truth had been let go, you would have thought the dude had died.
Right.
Because of how many people got emotional over it, sent out, their great remembrances with him, like as if he was dead. He's not dead, but I mean, his career with the WWE, obviously, it seems like it is. And the reason why I say it seems like it is because I'm holding out hope that they end up bringing him back, and they just made a very bad call.
I just think that, like, I get he's been the funny guy, and he's been consistent with that, but, like, my thing is, we give him that match with Cena, and it's like this whole thing, because Cena's supposed to be, like, his hero and everything, and we have Cena squash the shit out of him.
Well, I mean, even then, like, even his match that he had on Friday night, he lost the damn thing. So what? Have him be the jobby that works with everybody, because he's also the great comedy compared to everybody. I don't know. You're not going to get that.
We're not talking about some regular run-of-the-mill wrestler. Ron Killings is literally a TNA Hall of Famer. Like, this guy has been around for a long-ass time, and he's been nothing but loyal and doing exactly what you need him to do, and y'all just cut him? Like, I don't get that.
I hope that's his next stop, is going to TNA.
Yeah.
So that way he can still work with the company and also work with another promotion and have just as much fun over there.
Right.
Speaking of wrestlers that are cut or, are
leaving,
the contracts are expired and they're leaving within the next little bit, Carlito is also set to be leaving the WWE. They are letting his contract run out. They told him, hey, your contract is running out, and we're just figuring we'll let you know right now. And way it sounds, his contract's coming up here real soon.
2 weeks.
Allegedly, there was a whole money debacle where apparently he stole from the company. I don't think he really stole from the company. I think this was a bad joke of stealing time from the company, if I had to wild guess it. And so that's where that whole big debacle comes into play. Carlito was good at one point. He's just been a background character since he's been back. He hasn't really wrestled a whole lot.
Right.
He's done a few things here and there. So I can understand releasing Carlito.
Yeah, I can too. I can too.
Honestly, if he wants to still quote unquote work with the company, I say you just move him to AAA.
Yeah.
Maybe. That, or, if he doesn't want to do that, maybe have Ring of Honor reach out to him. That might be a good little place for him to go, is somewhere not as big, because he's not going to get a great story, I don't think, moving forward. But, you hate to see him go, but at the same time, there's always hope to, whenever you see someone go, like R-Truth or Carlito, there's hope that they're going to start telling the story of another wrestler, and that next wrestler might get some screen time, like Karrion Kross,
right?
Like Carmelo Hayes, like Ludwig Kaiser, someone else that is on the back burner kind of, or playing a smaller role. Who knows? Maybe that will give them a better chance to move up off of this. So there's negatives in it, but there's also positives that can come from it, I guess. So, but anyways.
Now, speaking of wrestling, and we're talking about TNA and everything, what do you think about Trick Williams winning that TNA Heavyweight Championship?
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, for a second, I completely forgot about this segment. Yeah, I think it's crazy that there's an NXT wrestler carrying the TNA championship around.
Yeah, that's cool though. I like it.
Definitely out of left field, hardcore. I'm pretty sure at that match, the owners or whoever is over TNA was at that match and got to witness their guy lose their championship to WWE.
I think they played it in an angle where like Trick Williams like stared at him or something like that.
Well, my main thing that I'm thinking, or that I'm questioning, I want you to think about it and give me a response on this.
Okay.
Does this mean that there's a bigger chance of WWE absorbing TNA into having TNA be one of their actual companies now?
I mean, it could be. I mean, think about how. I mean, it's at least a partnership. I mean, look at what they're doing with AAA and what they're eventually about to do with Noah and stuff like that. With having Omos over there, and
it's a TKO promotion right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's that they're just saying, hey, the doors are open now where we're going to be working with these companies a lot closer than what you think. So I don't know if it's that, or if it's, hey, so here's the thing. You're still going to be called TNA, but underneath in tiny letters it's going to say presented by WWE or something like that. Kind of like how Ring of Honor is under AEW right now. So, but it is wild.
I can see them keeping TNA as its own thing, but just continuing a good partnership with WWE, because TNA is a legendary company. So, I mean, I'm not saying that it couldn't happen. I'm just saying that's what I'd like to see happen.
So it's definitely a wild thing to think about NXT having the TNA title right now. It's wild.
All right, so next topic of discussion, we're going to talk about some college football for the first time since Lord knows when. Looks like
since it ended.
Yeah. Looks like we're changing up the college football playoffs a little bit again.
For this year.
Yeah, for this year at least. Instead of the conference champions for the Big Four championships or conferences, it's going to be the top 4 seeded teams instead this time. which honestly I believe is a good idea because, like I explained to Ridge earlier, everybody who had the bye week or whatever this last season lost after their bye week. So it's just like
here's the only one odd thing to this too is so with a team like Notre Dame
right.
that doesn't play a conference championship, let's say they end up the number 2 team of the nation, good chance of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
That means that they won't have a championship game they have to play, and then after that they won't have to play a game afterwards because they already have a bye week right there.
Right.
So they kind of just get a ticket as is without having to worry about anything. They get to move on a little bit quicker in the rest of the field. I don't know if I like this idea or not.
Well, that's my only problem with Notre Dame is Notre Dame has been an independent non-conference team for too damn long. It's like, why are we not? Why are y'all not in a conference at this point? You know.
I mean, I guess if you want to be in a conference, you ain't got to be in a conference. To me, and the way I see it, and I know it's going to change even after 2025 into 26 and beyond, they're going to keep on changing it because the SEC and the Big Ten are the big power programs that they are, so they'll change the rules as they see fit until it's both of their teams that are mainly the 2 that are playing in a championship, it seems like. And if that's not the case, then they'll threaten to leave. To me, I'll preach it till I am blue in the face. To me, the easiest, well, not the easiest way, but I feel like the best way to go about this is turn it into like the NFL. Have the Big Ten, the SEC be the big name brands. And then you have different divisions in the SEC like you do in the NFL. Same with the Big Ten. And just run it with that. And so that way you don't have to worry about who gets what seed because they're not in the Big Ten or not in the Big 12. And, you know, just...
My problem with that is, like, there's so many fucking colleges, and we can't just have whatever we have in the Big Ten and the SEC run what goes through the national championship.
Well, that's the thing, though, is that if you go by this, you'll end up booting some of these colleges down a peg from the college football playoffs, and instead of that, they'll have their own smaller playoff that isn't as big and isn't as well known. Kind of like, and this is a stupid analogy for this, or stupid way of looking at it. It's kind of like you have the NFL and then the what is it, the XFL or USFXL, whatever it is now. Right. You have the indoor league. You have different football leagues underneath the NFL. So they have their own championship games too. That's pretty much what you would be going to. Is you would have your main college football that a shit ton of people are going to be watching, and a shit ton of people are going to be checking out that playoffs. You have a whole nother new level. Let's say it includes like App State and, you know, kind of smaller programs that don't fit the bigger picture. And then those schools all have their own playoff, and there is a chance of it drawing attention too, because if you put in a team like App State, hell, I'll throw in Vanderbilt too, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say you have those two that are going to the championship. Well, that could be a really good game, especially for those two, because they're not more likely going to ever win or see the live day of the main playoff.
Right.
App State has a better chance than Vanderbilt. Of course, Vanderbilt could surprise us like they did last year. But either way, this gives them their own area to play in and still can be a draw, just it won't be the same level draw.
To be real, I think what the best thing the best idea It's kind of do something how like the NBA does. It's like, each conference or each division has like 8 teams that come to the playoffs. But what they could do is just take the top, I think it's like 16 or no, the top 18, and on each side of the bracket, there's going to be a playoff game, not a playoff, but a play-in game. So like the bottom 4 teams that are on in this, 20-team thing have to play a game just to make it into the playoffs against the last 4. So it would be like the 16th, the 17th versus the 20th, and the 18th versus the 19th, or something like that. And it's like whoever wins those gets into the playoffs. Then the playoffs.
But the thing with something like that is that for basketball and baseball, they play a lot more games than what football does, right?
Right.
And if you don't get wrong, everybody, or for a majority, a lot of people like more football. We all want more big time football. Except probably the players. The players want a break. I understand. But, between not playing as many or not playing the same amount of games as the basketball and everything, I see that being a little bit harder to do. Because at the same time, the NFL, for some god-awful reason, hates college football, it seems like, to a certain extent, and doesn't want college football in the same area as the NFL whenever it comes to playing games, because they want to go head-to-head for some reason. But I see that as, a good little friendly competition, and you would think that you would want eyes on these new potential NFL stars that are coming up.
Right.
I don't know. Either way, it's a mess. Hopefully, we get a little bit cleaned up, and even later on, it gets a little bit more cleaned up. But who knows? We'll have to wait and see.
Right. All right. Well, on to the next subject. Lilo and Stitch. This movie has been popping off. I mean, Ridge didn't really know, but I personally heard that within like the first 2 days or first weekend at least, it shattered what the original movie made. But Ridge, you got more numbers, so let us know, brother.
All right, so on Memorial Day, it broke the record, and the original record holder was Top Gun Maverick, I believe. And the numbers that Lilo and Stitch made just over Memorial Day weekend was $145.5 million, and was estimated to eventually, including it to be through Monday, at $183 million. So, I mean, it was doing good on Memorial Day. And not only that, but as of right now, or as of 7 hours ago, Lilo and Stitch is riding the box office waves to $610 million in ticket sales. It's the second highest movie so far for 2025. The one that's in front of it right now is a Minecraft movie that's sitting at $947 million, having the top spot to date. And there is a high chance that Lilo and Stitch is going to surpass that within probably the next couple of weeks, if it's already sitting at $610 million. And it came out, a week ago or so?
Yeah, like a week or two.
So it's making all of the monies in the whole wide world, like a lot of people figured Lilo and Stitch will.
Oh yeah.
Or would. The only thing that I have other than numbers is, does this mean that we're about to get a second live action Lilo and Stitch movie?
I mean,
it feels like the writing's on the wall for it.
I wouldn't be totally surprised.
I know that they've talked about, if they do have a second movie, they're going to introduce, or they have the idea to introduce the other cousins of Stitch.
Right.
Like, so we'll get like a Leroy. I can't think of the other names. I don't know why I'm freezing.
Are they gonna do glitch? Stitch as a glitch?
I don't know. You never know how they're going to do with it. I kind of hope though that if they do make a second movie, that they include Gantu in it,
Yeah, for sure.
because that was a big letdown that Gantu was not in this movie. According to the director, it took away from the story of the sisters or whatever. I'm not buying that for a fucking second. Alright, because if you watch the original cartoon, it works just the same.
Yeah.
With Gantu being the villain. It doesn't take away from it to me. The only other thing, too, that I will say about Lilo and Stitch, to the people who are getting pissed off over Nani's decisions and how Disney has based those decisions, fuck y'all, calm the fuck down. Y'all getting so worked up over a girl that may be like 20 years old, maybe even younger. Y'all are getting upset that Leo is going to go live with the neighbors so that way she doesn't have to go off to some adopted family that's outside of close quote unquote family that she has at her home. So I don't know what the big deal is on letting the young or the older or the old young sister go off to college. It makes no sense to get mad over that. Let her have dreams. Let her be able to do shit too. This is who's Lilo is eventually living with is like their grandmother,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I don't see the reason for everyone to get so fucking tore up over Nani going off to college.
Well, I think the problem that people have with it is it didn't stick to the original story.
What live action remake sticks 100% to stories?
Right.
You don't see a lot of movies. Hell, I'm pretty sure How to Train Your Dragon is even going to veer off from the cartoon. Are y'all going to get pissed off at that too? You might as well. Y'all didn't get us pissed off at all these other remakes. The only remake people have actually gotten good pissed off at, and I can't blame them, is Snow White.
Yeah.
There's a lot of issues with that. So fuck that movie.
Look, if
But
it was sticking completely to the original movie, then we wouldn't have got Evermore in Beauty and the Beast. And we all
right.
well, like we me and you both know, Ridge, that's probably the best thing that has come
It's
out
a
of live action Disney.
fucking banger.
Like, I still listen to that song to this day, and it makes me cry. Like,
Same. I still sing that song.
yes,
It's a fucking banger, alright? So,
you just gotta trust
fuck.
the process. You just gotta trust the process, man. It's like, this is a new day and age, and it's like, we can't relive it when we can't retell. I mean, these are the same people who will go off and complain that, oh, we can't, we're just rehashing old shit. Like, it's like, then when we get this new thing, but we make it, well, we get this old thing, but we make it new, you complain about it? Like, come on, dude.
And if you're complaining about that, I cannot wait for the second movie to come out, because that's going to be a whole nother can of worms right there.
Yep.
Of everything not being the way that you want it to, as if they don't have that portal gun too.
And then they're gonna, bitch about, oh, there's no Leroy. Like, this doesn't. I watched all episodes of Leroy and Stitch, and this isn't what happened. And it's like, oh, shut up.
But I mean, still, we're talking to a small corner, I guess. I don't know how big of a corner it is, because clearly it's still a good movie, or else tons of people wouldn't be still watching it.
Right. And
so I think
the money it made.
I think just some people are just being snobs, the same way people are snobs over Star Wars and Marvel. It happens.
It's just like this. Whatever y'all say doesn't matter, because they almost doubled their budget in the first fucking week. So the movie is more than successful at this point. So y'all can keep crying, but the money is still going to their pockets.
They don't give a fuck
No.
right now.
All right, so on to the next segment. We got some awesome news about Street Fighter. Now, take these sayings with a grain of salt. We don't officially know yet, but the first 4 people of this cast have been confirmed.
We do know.
Yeah, they have been confirmed, as we know, but the rest are rumored. But these are the same people who rumored the original 4, so we're keeping it with a grain of salt, but we're also keeping our hopes a little high. So we got Andrew Koji as Ryu. We got Noah Centineo as Ken Masters. We got Jason Momoa as Blanca. And we got Roman Reigns as Akuma. First of all, Roman Reigns as Akuma is like an insane casting, in my opinion, because he's going to look insane as Akuma.
The whole thing's wild, who they got right now.
Right. So now the next few people, well, the next 8 people we say, well, not 8, hell, it looks like 12. But the rest of the people that I'm going to say, they're just rumored at the moment, but those first 4 were confirmed. So far we got Alan Richardson as Guile, Jimin Yang as Chun-Li, Winston Duke as Balrog, Wallace Day as Cammy, Josh Brolin as Bison, Oliver Richter as Zangier, Dave Bautista as Sagat. Then we got Jesus Castro as Vega. Then we got Mustafa Shakir as DJ. Yamamoto Yama as E Honda. Ram Charan as Dalcium. And Andy On as Fei Long. Let's just say, if that's the cast, man, they got, like, they're blowing it out of the water already. Like, they're acing the cast.
I think it's funny that there is only one regular name, it seemed like, out of that whole fucking list that doesn't sound like a video game name.
Right.
And that's Cammy. Other than that, all the other fucking names are just fucking wild. I'm pumped for this movie, though.
For sure.
Just knowing that you have the 4 that are already confirmed, big names, big-bodied people, especially in Roman Reigns and Jason Momoa, that's fucking wild. It's definitely going to be a lot of action. It's going to be great.
I just think it's like, just the thought of seeing Roman like looking like Akuma just gets me excited, because you can clearly see it, man. Like, I mean, he's got the skin color for it, and they could just dye his hair that red and put it up in that ponytail and give him that gi. Oh man, it's gonna look sick.
It's definitely going to be a wild movie whenever it finally comes out. Still in development. It's still in the works, so we'll keep y'all up to date whenever we get more confirmations on them and whenever we get release dates and trailers and whatnot.
Right. All right, so on to the next segment. We got some rumor has it's going on, and this time we got pictures with it. Wow, there's no blank screen anymore. So
I told him to change it.
Yeah, he did, but it makes sense. So our first piece of rumor has it, Ridge, is that we are getting Bruce Banner, also known as the Hulk, in Spider-Man Brand New Day. What's some details you got on that?
All right, so as you said, the rumor has it is that the Incredible Hulk will show up in Spider-Man Brand New Day. There's a possibility that he's a mentor in some of it, but there's also rumors that he is going to end up raging out again. We're going to get the Rageful Hulk, and he's going to be one of the villains. Now, clearly, I don't think he's going to be the main villain at all. I think the main big bad of this movie will be Mr. Negative. We'll get into that later. But I think whenever you have somebody like Mr. Negative, he'll get inside the mind of Bruce Banner.
Oh, yeah.
and that will just fuck him up, and they'll bring out the Hulk again, like we all want,
Yeah.
and it's just gonna be fucking wild. Now, don't get it wrong, too. It'd be great to see a Hulk slash Bruce Banner that's also getting to be a mentor to Spider-Man,
Yeah.
because you have a super intelligent mind in Bruce Banner and a really smart up and coming kid in Spider-Man. And I mean, we've seen it before in other movies like Doc Ock with the original Spider-Man,
Mm-hmm.
the Lizard, and the Amazing Spider-Man. So having this Spider-Man have another scientist that, of course, turns into a fucking villain. That's kind of like a trope, I feel like, of Spider-Man.
It kind of is.
Scientists always figuring out a way to turn themselves evil, even if it is for just a small amount of time.
I mean, think about it. Even in the Spider-Man game, you know, Doc Ock, and it's about to be Norman Osborn. So
Right. And I mean, the way it sounds too, they're doing this because we're probably not going to get a World War Hulk movie. So this is just the best that they can do with what they got. So they're keeping the story of the Hulk going on through Spider-Man No Way Home and into Doomsday and Secret Wars. So that's what we got for first. Rumor has it. Anything else later?
so not on this subject, but on to the next. Rumor has it. We're talking about Doom. Where did you go ahead with it, brother?
Alright. So, in the rumor has it territory, there's a possibility that there will be a new actor that will take on the mantle of playing Doctor Doom or close to the end, or somewhere towards the end, I guess, of Secret Wars. Now, the reason of this too is because there's also been talks of Robert Downey Jr. Sorry, I blanked out so badly. Of Robert Downey Jr. playing 4 other characters at the same time.
Lord.
Yeah, he's apparently going to be playing 4 different characters. Now, whether it's 4 different iterations of Iron Man, or whether it's Iron Man and different iterations of Doctor Doom, who fucking knows right now? But according to some rumor areas, there is a possibility of us getting a different Doctor Doom actor that's to take on the mantle of Doom past Secret Wars.
Do you think that it would have to be God Emperor Doom? Like do you think like if they do bring in someone else, it won't be just regular old Doctor Doom? Like, do you think that?
I think that if we get another Doctor Doom, it'll be another variant of Doctor Doom. I think that RDJ will become God Emperor Doom for some of Secret Wars, because he'll be the one that rules over the new Battle World for the Secret Wars movie. So I can see him keeping that for a little while. Now, to go back to the whole RDJ and how we'd also be getting a new actor, there is a chance that he does what was in one of the Doctor Doom versus Iron Man storylines, of where he swaps bodies pretty much with Iron Man.
Yeah. Well,
and that explains why.
Well, they got the one where like they swap bodies, but they also have one where like Tony Stark dies and Doom takes over the Iron Man mantle in his honor, but does it in his own way, type thing.
Right. So it could be a possibility that, you know, Iron Man or Tony Stark that looks like Doctor Doom is just another Iron Man variant, but Doctor Doom was using his likeness,
Right.
or might have been able to cast a spell to make himself look like Tony Stark, or it could be that he got a hold of. I can't remember what movie it was that had the technology of like a mask or something that looked like a cloth, that they could put over.
It was Winter.
Was that Black Widow?
It was Winter Soldier, because Black Widow used it in Winter Soldier at the end of it to mask as one of the UN. I don't know if it was the UN people, but it was like the main people over Shield, and she like masked herself.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they could very well even bring that back around because we haven't seen it since then.
But it's just,
so it could be that he had that tech.
Just the idea of Doom being, one of the most powerful sorcerers or magic users in the MCU. I mean, he could just make himself look like Tony Stark to fuck with him.
Right. So, I mean, that very well could be the case as to why he looks that way, and then we get a new actor in as Doctor Doom.
Now, you did say that, according to people who've seen the suit and everything, that it's very comic accurate.
Yes.
I've also heard rumors that there's a possibility that they'll stick true to the original Doom storyline, is that under his mask, his face is like falling apart because of, like, I guess the magic or like the darkness that he's withholding or something like that. So that would be really cool tie-in too, at least to show, like, even if it's not in this movie, but at least by like Secret Wars, to see that all that power that he's taken in is damaging him.
Right.
It'd be cool to see that in.
So I heard something that would be really cool, and we're getting off subject of rumor has it a little bit, but not really, because we're still talking about Marvel and we're still talking about Doctor Doom. So what if for the opening of Doomsday, we open up with Doctor Doom going back in time to grab the original Captain America from his dance and telling him, "Hey, I need you." And like, he doesn't fully understand it, but he knows that it looks like Tony. So he knows that he needs to go for his own good. Whatever the reason Tony might say, hey man, I need you back. I need you to come with me one last time. Sorry to take you away from your moment. Because we see him have his dance, but we also get to see the old man version. So what if Doom goes back and grabs him?
Well, I don't know if that'll be the thing, because I'm hearing that Doom is technically going to have his own anti-Avengers. Like, I mean, I get what you're saying could fall in line with that, but I don't think that Captain America would turn into Captain Hydra.
Well, maybe it's not even that he turns into Captain Hydra. Maybe it's that he thinks that this Tony Stark is telling the truth, and that he's, able to, like, slightly, in a way, talk him into, hey, these are the bad guys right now. These aren't your actual friends. These are the bad guys. These are from a different planet. I need your help getting this all under control.
I mean, he could kind of guilt trip him into, like, the whole thing with Civil War, and talking about, you left me the first time when I told you I needed a suit of armor around the world, and you see how that happened, type thing. But
yeah,
that could happen. But I honestly just see them getting like a variant of Steve Rogers being Captain Hydra. Then, like, we get dark versions of each character.
Well, because I'd also heard too that maybe at the beginning, whenever we meet this group, they don't seem bad.
Right.
They don't, and they eventually do turn out to be bad. So that would make sense as to why you would have maybe a Cap that isn't bad, quote unquote, but turns around and ends up starting to take on the Avengers, our actual Avengers for the 616.
Right. And honestly, that could be what they do with Secret Wars, like having it like being the good Avengers versus the bad Avengers, instead of it being like just two random universes fighting against each other.
Right.
But on to the next piece of rumor has it that we got through with Doom. So it's being rumored, but to me, it's almost feels like confirmed that Thor, we may be losing Thor in the next 2 movies. My guess is we're going to lose him in Doomsday, because they're already saying that we're going to lose a lot of people in Doomsday, and they're not coming back. And just the fact that Chris Hemsworth himself has released a Twitter post thinking and talking about Thor and how much of an honor it was to play him. Then he made a YouTube video pretty much saying goodbye to Thor or something like that. And it's like, my thing is, if Thor is dying in Doomsday, why the fuck are you telling us? Like, why? I mean, it's kind of like the same thing with Chris Evans in Endgame, how he officially was like, today I did my last piece of set, whatever, on Endgame, and it's bittersweet, blah blah blah. I cried, we all cried, type thing. And it's like, why are you telling us, man? Like, I don't want you to tell me. First of all, I don't want Thor to die. We all know Thor is one of my favorite superheroes. But second of all, it wouldn't make sense if he did, but just don't tell us, man. Just let it happen.
Listen, 2 things. One, if he does die, that would be one of those heroes. I don't know if we even mentioned his name whenever we was trying to think of people who could possibly die in these next 2 movies, because you know it's got to happen, and you know it's got to be somebody that's going to make the emotions boil over.
But the thing is like, if he's going to die, then why hype up Thor 5 and why hype up Hercules and shit like that, you know?
Well, that's the thing too, is that it could just be the Russos keeping us on edge with it all, because you know damn well he more than likely had to get permission to post thank you or just the gratitude post that he's made.
Right.
We are reading into this by a bit much, because we're not 100% sure that this actually means that he's dying. It could just be him being thankful, getting emotional. He could have went out and had a few drinks and then asked the Russos, hey guys, y'all mind if I put out an emotional post about playing Thor and how much of a ride it's been for me? And they could, of course, approve it. Now, it could mean that he's either dying. It could mean that they're just keeping us on the edge and he's not going to die at all. And it could just mean that he's retiring
to be real, it could be that our Thor dies but he does come back as like a evil version of Thor. Like I can't remember what they called him, but it's like the high level Thor. Like, I can't remember the name of it.
Well, even if we get an evil version, there's always the chance of getting another good Thor. Eventually, the way they're talking about for the quote unquote reboot after this is all said and done is that we'll end up having a new Iron Man, a new Thor, new old faces. So that way they can try to keep some of the faces all together. So who knows? Maybe eventually we will see a different Thor. But at the same time, it could be one of those deals, especially with Thor 5, that either comes out before Secret Wars or after Secret Wars. And it could be like a Black Widow case scenario where we're just seeing a story that happened before we got to this point, Yeah. So I'm not going to try to read too much into it, but you never know.
Well, it looks like Caleb joined in.
Welcome, Caleb.
Sorry, guys. I passed out. It's been a long day.
Hey, you're good.
It is all good.
I will say we're towards the end of the episode, but you're welcome to chill around.
Oh, okay.
Till the end.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, you're good.
But yeah, just the fact and the rumors that Thor is dying, just because of what Chris Hemsworth posted and stuff like that. Like I said, I just don't know why they would explicitly release it. And like you said, it could be just a thing to whim us off, but it's kind of like it's giving me the vibes of when Chris Evans announced his last day on set of Endgame, and it's like, I don't like that. It just doesn't sit right with me.
He didn't die in that movie, though, neither. He was just wrapping up, and at the time, we didn't know what his last shot was going to be, neither, and it turned out he just got old and retired.
I mean, we technically could have something where like Valkyrie dies and he like has to, he officially devotes himself to being the king of Asgard and stuff like that.
Yeah, that could be the case too. And you also have to think too, he has a kid too right now.
Yeah. So,
But I mean, still, if you want a good emotional pull, kill him off. Fuck it, why not?
Trust me, I'll be on the floor. So, all right. So I think that's it with the rumor has it, but we do have some more Marvel news. So, Rich, let's lead into that, brother.
All right. Well, I believe it was either last week or the week before. I'm not sure because I did these notes a hot minute ago. I did them last week before we got into episode 30. So I'm sorry if the date's a little bit dated, but it's still news either way for us, and news to some of y'all who probably don't keep up with it like me and Slater do. Anyways. There was news that Marvel had a panel or did a thing. It was a panel at Disney Consumer Products Panel, or DCPP if you want to shorten it. And at it, they showed apparently a sizzle reel or some teases to Doomsday. Do what?
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and
I just have to give a shout out to Kirsty. She said hi, Uncle Slider. So hey, how you doing?
It was the kids, more than likely.
Yeah, probably.
it was the kids that said it, not her.
I still have to acknowledge them,
Yeah, oh, you're good. So anyway, so they got to look at a little bit of Doomsday and what's going on behind the scenes of that, and they also got teasers towards Spider-Man Brand New Day. The main takeaways from it is that it looks like the art that they showed of Doctor Doom is comic accurate, like we had talked about earlier on how it seems like they will be going down a comic accurate route for Doctor Doom, so that's always a good thing. We didn't know what kind of Doctor Doom we was going to get. All we knew was we was getting Doctor Doom, so it's nice that we're not getting the Iron Man Doctor Doom suit, so...
Right.
And then the other big thing that also came from it with the Spider-Man Brand New Day is that they showed off apparently some different villains. We got Boomerang, Scorpion, and Tombstone were shown. And we've also heard rumors and apparently, well, we've seen a casting call for another male that's to be Asian, and we all assume that is to be Mr. Negative.
And it's also rumored that Steven Yeun, who plays what's his name in The Walking Dead?
I have no idea.
Glenn. Steven Yeun, who plays Glenn in The Walking Dead, who also does the voice of Invincible. Well, Mark from Invincible. So, I mean, and he was rumored to play Sentry. He was supposed to play Sentry at one point and backed out of it, which I'm kind of glad because I don't think Steven Yeun could have pulled off Sentry like Lewis Pullman did. But I think Steven Yeun is like a great choice to play Mr. Negative. Like, that would be really awesome.
I didn't know that. Oh, man. That's a good idea.
So, with all these names, it means that there's a possibility that they're listing out the Sinister Six for this movie, possibly. That's our Sinister Six that we're going to be getting. Or it could just be a montage of Spider-Man taking on a bunch of different villains.
Yeah.
And like Boomerang, Scorpion, and Tombstone. Meanwhile, the main story focus is around Mr. Negative and the Hulk.
See, my thing is like if they would have kept Tombstone in it, right? Like because originally they said that it was going to be a more grounded street level Spider-Man movie. I feel like that would have been perfect to have Tombstone in it. But like,
well, it seems like they're still getting the more grounded level, and that might be a good thing too, since Doomsday is been delayed by
A year.
6 or 7 months.
No, it got delayed by a year. No, you're right. Never mind. You're right.
No, I
6
was
months.
gonna say that backed it up to December. Yeah,
Yeah.
they did that with that and Secret Wars. Also, some breaking news. If you guys didn't know that, sorry. Uh, but so since they've been able to back it up, now we don't have to worry as much about getting a multiverse movie with Spider-Man. It can be more so grounded, focused,
And
and you got characters of all these
this
different
could
grounded
also
people.
this could also make more sense on Peter possibly showing up in one of the movies, at least Secret Wars, because you can't have Secret Wars without the black suit Spider-Man. Like,
Right. I mean, it could be too that he shows up in Doomsday now.
right, and the thing is like the black suit Spider-Man could be a variant, but it's like with the teaser that we had at the end of in the after credit scene of No Way Home, we got to see Tom in the black suit, right?
You would think, yeah.
Right.
And maybe that's the way he's able to take on the Sinister Six and Hulk.
Yeah, possibly.
I mean, let's see here. So Boomerang, Scorpion, Tombstone, Mr. Negative, Hulk. You would still have to have at least one more villain.
I mean,
Because that's only 5.
I did hear the possibility of Silver Sable, did we not? Because didn't they like talk about casting like a 30-something to early 40-something-year-old woman, like Russian or something like that?
I don't know if they were talking about Russia. I can't remember who they said, but they did. There's rumors of a female that is supposed to be also joining Spider-Man's, and there's no telling who it is. I can't remember off the top of my head, so my apologies on that. So who knows? Maybe the 6th member is a female.
And,
that'd be cool because that's different.
And we know that Sadie Sink is going to be in the movie, but it's being rumored that she's either going to be the new love interest, like whether she's Mary Jane or whether she's that I can't remember the cop's name that from the one comic book, but she could also be. I've also heard the possibility of her being Mayday Parker.
I was going to say the big thing I've heard is Mayday Parker, and so to me that sounds like something that will be right towards the end, more so as us getting Mayday Parker.
Right.
Being like, hey, we need your help figuring out what the fuck's going on. Dad called, or Dad told me to come get you, so come on, I need help.
You think that she'd be the daughter of Toby?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
That'd be awesome.
It's the only thing that makes fucking sense. Who else?
Or what if they fucking go super left field and make her be Mayday from the Into the Spider-Verse movies, and like have the guy who does the voice of Peter B. Parker in that movie play that specific Spider-Man. I'm not saying like
no.
It could happen. It could happen.
I don't like it. I would rather it just be Toby, and that be his Mayday. The only people I want from the that set of movies is I want Miles to come from it.
Right.
That's the only one that I would be okay with seeing coming from that universe is Miles.
Right.
So it's definitely interesting to think about all those different villains that are possibly popping up in Spider-Man. And by the way, just to go back on Doctor Doom, like I said, it's great that we are actually getting sounds like we're getting a comic accurate version of Doctor Doom and not some wild ass suit that they decide.
Real question to ask y'all. So it's been more than confirmed that Latveria is going to be in Doomsday. Of course you can't have Doctor Doom without Latveria. But
you could. It just would be odd.
Yeah, it'd be odd. Now, so do we think that Robert Downey Jr. is going to have the accent? Like, do you think they're going to give him the Slovenian?
100%. I think you would be wrong to not to.
Right, but it's like, my thing is like, with this being a different version of Doom, it being Robert Downey Jr. and the possibility of us getting a different actor to play Doom, do you think like maybe like we'll hear this version and it's like the he's got English voice, but whenever we hear the new Doom, they're like, oh god, he's back, but it's a different voice, and they're just like, oh shit, this is not who we thought it was. Like,
so to me, maybe like for him to trick like Spider-Man and to trick some of the other good guys, maybe let him have the American accent. But then whenever he's not around them, or if he blows his cover to somebody, let's say Sentry, with my idea of that Sentry touches him and figures out his whole fucking background.
Right.
Then maybe that's whenever he changes accent up to Latvian and go from there with that character. And in Secret Wars, just run with him having that accent the whole time too.
And another thing I asked you, I asked you before we started the podcast, which now that I think about it, it would make more sense to happen in Secret Wars. But what if we have a clip in Secret Wars? Because even you said that we believe if we're getting God Emperor Doom, that Tony Stark, like the Robert Downey Jr. version, is going to end up being the God Emperor Doom. And it's like, what if we get the scene, like we get Josh Brolin back as Thanos? Because we've heard multiple times that he would be coming back, at least for a small role or something like that. And what if they have like a multiversal Thanos come up and do the whole spiel, you're not a god type thing, and he rips out his spine, and then that seems to be untrue. Like, that would be, imagine the shriek in the theater, like, of the people who don't know that shit happens.
Absolutely. I'm hoping for the same thing.
I really want to see that, dude. And the thing is, I can understand if they don't do it, because I know it'd be grim for like kids and shit like that.
Yeah, that's my only concern.
But like, I feel like at least out of the people who know the comic books and knows Doom want to see that. But we like I said, we got to keep the kids in mind, because the Marvel movies are for everybody, not just us.
If we do get Thanos again, I vote that we do King Thanos.
Right.
Just to give like that much more slight badassery to a Thanos, and also just for a maybe smidge connection for Disneyland. I know that's completely left field of what we're talking about.
I was thinking the same exact thing though. Like I was thinking
because they're building that e-ticket attraction, and the main villain in the attraction is going to be King Thanos. So let's give like a little bit of a backstory before you get to where he's at in Secret Wars.
I mean,
that'd be kind of cool.
Technically, it could be like it could be a different Thanos that Doom maybe recruits to be a part of his court.
Yeah, there's no telling.
I mean, I'm just excited for Doomsday. I mean, think about it. The best two movies that we got in this whole entire universe is Endgame and Infinity War. And what happened in Infinity War? We lost. And the thing is we're gonna lose even worse this time. And you think we left speechless?
The comics, man?
You think we left speechless in Infinity War, dude? Holy shit. We're gonna be floored, dude. Like, even if we're expecting it, we're gonna be floored by it.
I'm gonna be fully expecting it, though, to be something that gives people something to look forward to, because what's coming after that. We're gonna get Battle World.
Well, that's Secret Wars, so yeah.
That's gonna be a really fun. It's gonna be a really fun thing to explore.
Gonna have to run by the Steak and Shake afterwards to try to get my mind calmed down after that mind fuck again.
Hell yeah, dude! It's like,
oh man.
I mean, just think about it, because even when we get to Secret Wars, it's not going to be like how Endgame was, because it was like Infinity War was our failure, but Endgame was us bringing that key back. And the thing is it's technically still like that, but there's still going to be a lot more loss in Secret Wars. Like, we're going to lose a lot of people, and the thing is like, people complain about different characters in this universe. We're about to lose a lot of them.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So whenever we lose all these people, and I see all you people crying, oh, they didn't deserve the hate they got, or oh, they were a key part in this universe and everything. I don't want to hear your babbling. because y'all missed the chance to love them this time, so don't love them when they're gone.
And the closer we get, and from here moving forward, we're probably going to be running a lot of MCU news, maybe some DCU news too, because I've heard a little bit about Peacemaker season 2, and
We got Superman in a month, so
yeah, we got Superman coming up on us less than a month. It's this month, ain't it?
No, it comes out in July.
I thought it came out in June.
No, it's like 2 weeks before Fantastic Four comes
Fantastic Four. Well, shows you how well I'm keeping up with shit right now.
Well, next month's gonna be crazy for movies because we're getting Superman, we're getting Jurassic Park, and that the week in between that, then we're getting, Fantastic Four. Then even this month, we got a lot of horror movies coming out this month. I mean, Meg 2.0, 28 Years Later, and shit like that.
We're also getting How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah, and so I went and watched Karate Kid yesterday, and I saw the full trailer, like the new trailer for How to Train Your Dragon. That shit looks insane.
Yep.
That looks awesome, bro. Like, I'm flabbergasted by the way how good it looks, dude.
I want to see that so badly in 4D. I don't know if I said that or not, but I'm going to say it again. I want to see that shit in 4D.
I'm going to add one more thing to the podcast just because I can. And this is just last second. I pulled up the rumor has it because it's a rumor at the moment, but I just want to get some thoughts from you guys. And I know y'all both probably haven't seen Final Destination Bloodlines yet.
No, I've been wanting to go see it.
But this ain't going to be a spoiler at all. But with the success of Bloodlines has already blown the lid off of this franchise. Like, this is the most successful Final Destination movie of all time, and rightfully so. It was great movie. Now here's the thing: if they do a 7th one, I've seen some people say, because 6 was kind of like a horror comedy. That's the thing about some of the Final Destinations is they have humor in it. And it's the earlier 2, they don't have a little less humor in it. But this is here's what I want to ask y'all: would y'all prefer them to keep it the slightly humorous way, or would y'all prefer it to be dark? And
personally,
go ahead. And my last thing is, originally before they did the Bloodlines thing, they were talking about the victims and everything being first responders. Tell me a Final Destination movie where every single person that gets involved in this situation are first responders, and say they respond to a big accident or something like that, goes AWOL, and crazy shit happens, as always, but it has to do with the first responders, and some of them can have the guilt of I can't believe I've left those people there to die and stuff like that. That's not who I am. That's not my job. That's not what I'm supposed to do type stuff. So on those 2 questions, I want to get y'all's opinions. Caleb, you go ahead since you went to talk.
So yeah, I mean, you know me. I like the darker stuff. I think it for me, when you're doing something that's really horrible in a movie,
right?
I feel like you need to express that as darkly as you can, because for one, our morals tell us it's wrong, and the more wrong we see it, the more real we feel about it.
Correct.
And that's kind of what you want from your audience. You kind of want them to feel like this shit's real. You want them to feel that, this is happening. This could happen, especially the franchise like this, where literally any of this could happen to you.
Well, that's the whole point of the franchise. The whole key of the franchise is death is always around.
Yeah, and the dark. I don't mind there being comedic scenes in there. There's a place and a time for that.
Which that's what they did in Bloodlines. It's not like it's a full-fledged comedy. It's just there's just funnier moments throughout the whole movie. It's it didn't go the route of how the Final Destination or Final Destination 5 did, where they tried to keep subtle funny moments in it but tried to stay dark. It just it kept what it knew. We know how Final Destinations are. So
Yeah.
it just embraced what it truly is. Like, yes, there's the gruesome deaths and the crazy scenes and everything, but they added the comedic moments in it that made the movie as good as it is. Like, because I personally think,
And that's honestly all you can really ask for out of a movie, especially like that one. And for me, like I'm big, I love Final Destination movies, but at the same time, I don't watch them very often because I don't really, I like to live life without being in fear all the time. So,
hey, look, all
but
I'm saying is, like, when I got injured this last couple of weeks ago, I had to do a CT scan and all that jazz. Let me tell you, I ain't gonna look at an MRI machine the same, brother. That's all I'm saying. I
yeah,
am never looking at that son bitch the same.
it's a scary experience. All the noises and the clanking and shit.
Hell, that's not what I'm scared about, bro. There better not be a damn wheelchair in that damn room.
Yeah, there better not be any piercings you don't know about either, huh?
No.
I heard about that. So, let's just say I had a coworker that spilled that beans by accident near me. So,
But either way, Ridge, what do you think of it? I'm gonna let you say it before I say my piece.
I'd say you want to run it back as closely as possible to whatever just made this movie a success. Give it a little bit more gore and a little bit, of a scarier sense to it, but don't go too far into the dark side with it as much because you're running with a formula right here and you want to keep the formula the same so that way you can bring in just as much money with this franchise because money is the key to all of it or any movie that ever gets made. So you'll want to run it kind of close and hope that you can produce the same amount of success with this next movie, if there is a next movie.
And my thing is, like, this ain't a spoiler, but it's like you can slightly say it is. Like, it's just, but overall, the end of it, like, if you watch Final Destination movies, when the main few people survive, it always ends in like another premonition or another crazy accident or something like that quote unquote kills them off, right? I mean, like, just thinking about, in the third one, when they thought they made it, then they're on the subway, then she has the premonition that the subway crashed, and then when she wakes up, it comes to fruition. Then, talking about Final Destination, or the Final Destination, where they thought they made it, and they're sitting in the coffee shop, and the truck just runs through the coffee shop and runs them over. And it's like, but it's like this one, it kind of ends like in the same way, but the way they played it out was like a premonition, right? It's like, because, the typical pricking of the finger and noticing things going on, but like, so there's a possibility that they could still like connect it to this movie and have it add on to the lore of it. But my thing of it is, I think the idea of having the first responders thing, because especially if you are looking to go a darker route, like how the first one and the second one are, because let's be real, the second one's arguably the greatest one, and the way they kept it dark and somewhat into it is amazing. Like, the way they did that, it was, perfection, and they could do that. But I think if they are going to go a darker route, that's where you have like the first responders storyline comes in. But if you're looking to keep it the same heart or whatever as this last one did, just connect it. That'd be my take. I mean, that's just as somebody who calls himself a true fan of the franchise. I've loved Final Destination since I first ever watched it, so I'm always there for it.
Right.
Well, I ain't got much else to say. Anybody else got anything to say for this week?
No,
nah.
I think we're good.
I think we've covered it all.
I will say, me and Mikey are going on our little trip this week to go see Metallica and Ice Nine Kills for a couple shows. So, I may be doing a couple little vlogs. If not, I'll be posting some shorts or something like that at least. So keep an eye out on that. If not, I'll tell you.
Oh, I did have one thing to say.
Oh, what's that?
I am very upset about the R-Truth thing.
Oh, yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, we literally just went to that SmackDown, and if that's really true, then it's weird because for the first time we finally got to see Cena. It's also our last time to see Cena, and now if this is true, it's our last time to see R-Truth.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on over there. That kind of
I,
bugs me a little
it
bit.
dang sure ain't Triple H. This is not a Triple H move. Triple H ain't like that now.
I don't know. I mean, I've been hearing like I don't know if you heard what MVP said about Triple H. I can't.
I
Remember,
think they're.
I can't
I don't
remember.
think no. He's the CCO.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's not the one who hires and fires. That's all Nick Khan and TKO's decision with contracts and stuff, and they let his contract expire.
Right.
So that and honestly, I know if I know Triple H, he's gonna respect on one thing from Vince, and that is Vince said if there was ever to come down to it, he would never fire R-Truth. Brings in too much money.
Yeah.
So that's about the only thing I got to say about that.
Slayer,
Yeah.
Slayer, I got one more thing for you.
Okay.
How's your team doing right now?
Hey, how about them son of a bitches out there in the big old thunderous plains, brother? How about them Oklahoma City Thunder, boy?
That's not who I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm talking about your baseball team right now.
Oh yeah. Yankees. I don't know what's going on.
That have got their asses handed to them
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, man. The thing
on 2 different occasions. Bad.
I don't know what's going on. The same thing with Tennessee's baseball team. Like we just keep doing some stupid shit. I turned on the damn Wake Forest game that's going on right now before the podcast, and like literally right as I clicked on, I see an error. Like, and it's like literally. Like, what's going on? Like, both my baseball teams are just choking, dude. We make it to the damn World Series last year, and here we are with our thumbs up our ass.
It's okay. The Braves and the Gators both aren't good at baseball right now. So, at least we get to be bad together.
Yeah. But, yeah, again, how about them Oklahoma City Thunder boys? Hell yeah. That's all I got to say. Shay, you bring us
I don't know anything about my Miami Heat, that's for sure.
You bring us a ring this year, brother. I swear to God, if we lose to the Pacers, I'm going to cry. But yeah,
Don't hold your breath.
But yeah, guys, just keep an eye out for the possible like little shorts or whatever that I'm going to post for the trip that me and Mikey's about to go on. Also keep in mind that next month, June 20th through the 22nd, we're going to be not this month actually in a couple weeks. We're going to be at Metrotham Con. I don't think I'll be able to be there Friday because I have to work, but I am off on that Saturday and Sunday. So we definitely will be there then. I don't know when our schedule for our panelists, so hopefully they do it Saturday or Sunday. Keep our fingers crossed and our toes crossed. If not, I might have to work something out. But either way, just keep an eye out. And if you guys are going to be there, we'd love to see you and love to talk to you. We'll have our own table, so come by and see us. And
yeah.
If you guys find this episode after Metrotham Con, welcome to the family. But as we always say, we love you and we appreciate you guys for sticking out to this long. Just like, subscribe, share us out. Hell, grab your friend's phone, grab your mom's phone, whatever. Just subscribe to us. Hell, maybe she never knows. Maybe she find our episode and might start liking us. Who knows? So, but yeah, just much love to everybody, and we'll see you guys next week.
I'm sorry I was tardy.